So let's see. The audio with this usually derps out. We can try whatever you want. I'll keep doing my maybe big beefy stuff, or maybe I should try some other stuff. I shouldn't get too stuck on one idea like that. I think last time the audio didn't go through on the stream at all, in fact. Which is really stupid, so it was just silent. But I should definitely try to... I still don't get the arena thing. Like, why doesn't it just let you do one to start? Okay, this is okay, this is kind of what I wanted. This event is Phantom. Cards you draft will not be added to your... Yeah, well, no shit. That's how everything usually works anyway. A time draft with 7 other players. What does that mean? You open and pass around packs like a typical draft, only the card pool isn't bound by a single set. Drawn from the best of all the cards available in Arena. I don't know what this whole thing is where you share it with people, but... Which archetype do you want to play against? Just try one that you didn't do last time, I guess. How about one that's like very flying heavy? That's kind of the one I wanted to do, but I don't know really how to make... I don't have any cards, obviously. Or actually, I did get a lot, but I don't know. I don't want to bother looking at them right now. Birds. Oh, that'd be a cool overlap with, like, Siegfried from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a Valkyrie deck where you can just mitigate, like... Or you can avoid mitigation. You just hit them no matter what. So this is Davy, and this is Cookie. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that must be him. So I'll get destroyed by him, and then... I love the way this card looks. I want to see, like, what set is that a part of? Whatever it is. Tarm... Moe Goff, or whatever. It's like the old gods. Cthulhu type stuff. Lovecraft. Siege Rhino. It's just so weird how power creep ruins all these things, because it's like it's as fun as you want it to be, and with this it maybe isn't as bad as with Hearthstone and stuff, because that's been out for like 10 years. This has only been out for like 3. But it's just a question of, you know, like, you don't have to use the power creep bullshit meta. Anybody can just use the meta thing, and like how in Hearthstone, when I was doing that, I was winning 70 to 80% of the time, right, when I got to the legend rank one time or whatever. But who cares? Like, anybody can do that. It's just super time consuming. Well, maybe not anybody, but it just comes down. It will be a funny deck. Do you give me 30 minutes to 30 minutes? Okay, I'll try an arena then. Traditional arena cube draft. I guess I just want to understand how arena works, because it was such a good spot. When I started playing Hearthstone, this was all I wanted to do, because it feels like you can get unlimited cards by doing it. So what is the difference in these two? I don't get it. Best of 3 game matches. Play 3 matches regardless of record. Okay, that one's too short though. So for only 4,000 gold, which is all I have, I feel like this is maybe the new expansion type of thing that's going... Okay, this is 10,000. See, before the first one cost 10,000 too. So let me just try it. I was bitching about not being able to do it, so now I can do it. Finding a draft table. So you share the cards with other people who are probably tryhards and know exactly what they're doing, and of course I don't. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Does that mean we can only play against each other or what? I don't know, dude. I'll just take that.
Go ahead. Beg for mercy.
I don't have time. I'm not gonna make these people wait, and I don't care. Like what? I'm gonna read every single one for like an hour there? This just looks interesting. Golgari Queen. You may sacrifice another permanent. If you do, gain 1 life. Destroy non-land target permanent with mana. Oh, this could be hard to summon though, because you need different kind of lands. You get an emblem with whenever a creature you control. Holy shit, dude. That's why I like the solitary draft, because then you don't feel like you're making people wait. Maybe you shouldn't care, but I don't want to seem like a total noob. But we got what almost looks like a legendary, or at least something very impactful, so... You know, it would be... Nobody is waiting. Okay, let me look for stuff that is actually just interesting looking. Draw 2 cards. Pot of Greed. With 3 or less, perpetually gain whenever you... Sure, I'll take that. Pot of Greed. I don't know how this works. Oh, here we go. I mean, I don't know anything, but you should at least have a color in mind. Like, I don't even have any land, so what am I supposed to do with this? Flying Menace, sure. So we're mostly going with the skull stuff. I don't know what that tree thing was that I threw in there. When Junji, the Midnight... And that's the whole fun of this, too, is it doesn't even matter what your record is. I'm just learning this stuff. When the Midnight Sky dies, each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. Put target non-dragon creature card from a graveyard, meaning it could be theirs, too, onto the battlefield under your control. That could be unbelievably good. Because you could just summon like a 10/10 from their graveyard. That's so good. So I'm not sure how the lands are going to come into play unless you just start with default lands, like... But even then, you would have to choose which one. Draw 2 cards, then non-land cards in your hand with 3 or less perpetually gain. When you cast this, you lose 1 life. That could actually be pretty bad, but... You have to play it at kind of the right time. Okay, I'm not going to do any tree shit. It's got to be a skull. Anything with a skull. 4 skull. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. I do like that idea. Any kind of recycle value cards are good. So again, we're looking for a skull. Add something something. Too complicated. Root bound crag. No, it interacts with different things though. There's nothing that even uses a skull here. What do I do? Maybe something cheap with the tree. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. At least that synergizes with what I'm trying to do. All about the graveyard stuff. We already have a theme, see? This is what you do in Hearthstone. Not because it's good, but because it's fun. Target creature you control gets... Oh, shit, that's really good. Anything that involves a skull. I'm not getting any skull stuff now. So you can choose how good that is based on how much you spend. I'm just worried about the land stuff. Add a sun. I don't want sun. I don't want that. Add... Okay, this is good. This is good because it'll give me the skull stuff that I'm so concerned about getting. Brainstorm, draw 3 cards and put 2 cards from your hand on top of the library. Oh, this is like Graceful Charity, except you don't even have to discard them. Card draw is something we haven't seen a whole lot of in what I've been doing. This only costs 1. Discard a card, create 2/2 creature token, tap 3. Untapped, you draw 1 card. Okay, it's complicated, but it involves the skull. Destroy target creature with 2 or less. Investigate. This actually seems good. Pit Fighter, don't want anything to do with fire. This adds everything except what I want. This, okay. And I don't know what that even is. What is a diamond? I've never seen that before. I don't know. It's saying, it's giving me every element except for the skull thing. Maybe it strategically does that for some reason. Destroy target creature, but I don't have tree stuff. Sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Discard a card, sacrifice this artifact. That's kind of shitty. You have to give up 2 things for 1. I mean, that is kind of what I'm going for in terms of the forest skull thing synergy. At the beginning of the upkeep, mill a card, blah, blah, blah. If a land is milled, something happens. Now, I don't want to have to rely on... Oh, I guess we can do this. We can do this to get the tree, the elusive tree. So basically, I'm screwed on lands unless I'm going to get some. It must give you some back to back to back. Now, it's forcing me to take a water one, which I just don't have. Like, auto-select. Nice. Fun and interactive. Pack 2. I guess we're going to have plenty of chances here, but basically just looking for stuff with the skull. If a non-token creature... Don't want water. This thing. Spell costs 1 less if an opponent controls no basic cards. Oh, destroy target creature. Well, that's just good no matter what it costs. This is create a 0/1 token. You can't really sacrifice stuff for, like, to summon other stuff. Death Touch is good, no question about it. Like a poisonous effect. They built it so you don't really wait. Land is provided. You will get basic lands, but the special lands are not provided. Let's see. I mean, this legendary planeswalker, so why wouldn't I just take that? Like,
I will show you what happens when the spiders squash back.
Like, I don't even care what it does. Legendaries are fun. Vampire Ally. Getting back-to-back legendaries that I'm probably going to squander. Like, it is like that in Hearthstone, too. I'll take the legendary just because it's cool. Even if it's terrible or you can't synergize with it, because they often require a very specific, you know, support to be effective, which I'm sure is the case sometimes here. Whenever, look how complicated some of these are. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a loyalty counter, and then you draw a card and lose 1 life, which is actually good. I mean, it's worth it to do that theoretically. Create 2/1 black spider tokens with menace and reach. I forget what menace does. Reach is like you can attack flying stuff. You get an emblem with whenever an opponent is dealt combat. Okay, I don't have time to look at that. So I don't want water. I don't want fire. That at least narrows my options. This is the same thing, like you can do X number of. I guess I feel like I kind of need some of these. You may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. I'm gonna need some of those because I just don't have enough resource. That's what I really have to be aware of. This costs 7. Add 5 diamonds, which I don't know what the fuck those are. Draw a card for each color among permanents you control. The grass stuff could be a little tricky too. The water is gonna screw me over. Add the forest, or is the sun its own type, or is it just generic? Maybe that's the one that's just a generic thing. I don't have enough stuff to justify the forest even. Maybe I should get some stuff for that. Choose one. I don't want that. This looks pretty badass. Enters the battlefield, creatures -2/-2. Whenever a creature controls dies, that player loses 2 life. And we're looking for... Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect because it gives you both of the things you need. Some good synergy. Lifelink, legendary creature. Why are there so many of these water ones? It's like it's trying to make me pick water. This is like a sun thing. Isolated chapel, add, okay. Maybe I'm overdoing it with the land stuff, but man, I feel like I need it because I don't have any actual one, so I guess we'll see how this works. I think I might have overdone it though. I don't know. Going in completely blind. I guess I need some forest stuff because permanents gain hexproof, which means it probably can't be destroyed by a spell, something like that. Choose a target creature, you lose 2 until the end of the turn. It gains when it dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So that could be another one that cycles stuff through value, like from the graveyard and stuff. This is just garbage. Like I can't deal with that pick. None of those are viable. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'll just pick forest stuff just because I can. How long does this go on? So you got 40 cards, and then the rest are going to be lands. Yeah, nice pick. Legendary Planeswalker, but it requires like a sun thing. Normally I would take it, but I'm just not going to now. Spell can't be countered. Attacks each combat if able. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's not even really that good. Sacrifice up to 3 permanents. If there were 3 or more card types among the sacrifice, each gains 3. You gain 3 and draw. That could be cool, but it's awfully complex. Permanents must just be some of these sanctuaries and stuff that I'm getting. Possibly way too many of them. Special lands are not provided. Destroy up to a... Wait, I don't even remember getting that. It must have been one where I didn't really have a choice. In the name of... I don't like how there's no voices on a lot of stuff, though. Even on, like, your main planeswalker character. Okay, we should be almost done here. 9 left. Costs 1 Knight of the Ebon Blade. +3/+3 and gains that touch until end of turn if you pay a cost. That seems pretty good. We do need some low cost stuff. I feel like I don't have any of that. 2 and 1 and a spectacle. Flying trample 4/4 for only 4 cost. Looks pretty good to me. Not even looking at half of these because I just don't know them. Like, I'm not going to be able to process, but you really should draft by color. So even the forest stuff was a bit questionable. The water, I swear, wasn't up to me. Like, I had to take it. I wouldn't have gotten any of it if I could. Okay, that's garbage. Fire and tree. They don't really go very well together. For fire or, it must be an either or. No card in your starting deck has more than one companion. I don't know what that is. It's too complicated. Just get more lands that I probably won't need. I think I really overdid it with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe you should have like 10 of those and it's acceptable. Because you are going to need them. I mean, if you don't get any, then you're screwed. I don't know. I think this requires both. Destroy target artifact or enchantment and you can cycle it back. It only costs 2. I don't know how many of those I really want. I'm just going to go all in with it, but I don't know. In fact, I don't even know if you can have multiple of the same one active at the same time. You probably could. Now I'm at PC, no crash hopefully. How's it going? Everybody loves Magic. Altar of Ball. This is too complicated. But I don't get it. What does it do? Sorcerer, whatever, dude. Adventure, you want me to do like a fucking quest in the middle of a duel? Like these fucking Hearthstone quests? Okay, you don't want the sun one, you don't want this. You can add a forest one, which I don't want. I want more stuff that I can actually use here. There's nothing even like... That's so dumb. There's nothing I can even use out of that set. Some of these are totally bricked, which I imagine is happening to the other players too, but... So you can only add the forest, which I don't need that badly. I'll just do this, I don't know. This is hard. Why am I doing a cube? Well, this is an arena, so I'm just trying to see how it works. I don't know if that means... This just costs 2 of anything, so I don't care what it does even. It's a good way to just see a whole bunch of different cards that I don't have, I guess. Transform into an oddity, whatever. I have a bit of... Now, will it let me leave and come back later? Or will... I mean, after the draft? Does that mean you need both? I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't even think I can use that because I don't have the fire stuff at all. I don't have anything. So many of these are stupid. Like, I literally do not have these colored lands. Waiting for this. So what happens here? The cards don't add. Well, not to your main collection, but you get to use them at least for... Like an arena. Like in Hearthstone is the same thing, right? You draft it, you play a certain number of games with it, and then you get a reward. So it's just fun to try them, I suppose. No cards could be found with the current filters. 50 out of 40. So I get to choose like which to get rid of. Oh, well, get rid of everything that's water related. Like, really, why would I want this? I'm not going to use water. I'm not going to use fire. Wait. Or does that mean... Wait. Does that mean that I am making the deck, or does that mean that I'm getting rid of the deck? 49. Okay, it means you're getting rid of it. So just get rid of everything to do with water. Which actually I don't have that much. Get rid of this one because it might require fire. Forest and skeleton, I don't mind. I'm not going to have the sun thing either. This one's just weird. I don't care about it. So even among these, what is this? Baldur's Gate with instructions to head straight. What is that? Basic land planes. So many of these aren't... Oh, I guess it'll work for some things. So let me get rid of one that gives you something completely garbage. Basic land, forest, chapel, shipwreck. Okay. Well, the water is fine there because as long as you have the skull. Like, this one is completely garbage. I have to get rid of 5 more. I want to actually do it now, but I just wanted to see how the draft works. This you can add anything pretty much you want. Cycling 3. What else could I get rid of? I guess I could get rid of some of the forest stuff too, but I don't want it to feel completely useless. Get rid of that stupid mech thing, I guess. I don't even care what that is. Destroy artifact or enchantment. Draw 2 cards, lose some life. These seem fine. That seems fine. Create a tapped 4/1 skeleton. Creature token with menace. That seems interesting. Destroy up to 1. Oh, wait. This is like a sun one. Or is that basic? That I still don't know. I don't know what that symbol is. It looks like a sun icon, so that's a different one that you'd have to go out of your way to get. Because if it was just basic, it would just be a number. Right? The number can be anything. This one doesn't seem that good, really. Get rid of 2 more. And so... when it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. When it dies, create a 4/4 token. That's pretty damn good. If you control 2 or more other lands, which I probably will, target creature gets plus XX. This is pretty close to being what I want. Add 1 mana of any color. Put a 1/1 counter. Activate only as a sorcery and only if you instant something something. I don't know how many of these you'd really want. Maybe I'll get rid of a few of them. Wait, I thought I just did that. What? What's happening? Maybe I don't even have to do this. Like, I don't have to get rid of stuff. What? It's not going away. It was before. Oh, it shows you the little cost thing too. Oh, you have like 5 of these. Why can't I just keep some of them? Where'd they go? I don't get how this works. So I got rid of the 5 forests and now they're just gone forever. So I guess I'll bring back some of these lands. Land. And what? Didn't I have another one like this? Yeah, we can play one. I have no idea what I just did, but... So the other people I'm drafting with... A normal draft, add card, but not cube draft. A normal draft, so that would mean like this one probably, or... Those are both cube, I guess. But I guess you'll get some as a reward anyway. And then I'll see if Cookie's finished his little fancy flying thing. The thing with flying is you just can't mitigate it, so... Or you'd have to make something specifically to counter it, which most decks probably don't do that. Large and in charge again. Definitely a fan of the theme of just summoning big beefy stuff like that. And I'm sure there's better ones you can get even than that. But a 5 mana 10/10, even if it is all of the same color, is not that big of a commitment. Because once you build a deck like that, you're going to have it anyway. Like, all these hybrid things can sometimes be overrated. Because it's like, you know, you're just going to always be like, oh, I wish I had the other land. It's annoying enough to have to deal with the lands in the first place. Right, at all. But then you have like one of every kind. Although some of those shrines and stuff do let you do that. Like you can choose which one. So I'll just keep it. I'm not gonna try to mulligan and end up with nothing in my hand. I still don't get exactly what the rationale behind that is. Because it's like, if you're not going to get a card back for it, then why even bother? I guess you put it at the bottom of the deck so you know you're not going to get it. Like you just don't plan to use it, but 53, 55. What is that? I don't think I've seen that before. Some of these backgrounds are pretty cool. Makes me think of that, whatever, from The Hobbit, where the dragon's in the room with all the gold. Oh, don't tell me his thing crashed again. You mull to 6 cards. I mull to 0 cards. I guess there's no time limit here because it's like oh, it's my turn. I thought it was his turn. My bad. So I do have some good low cost stuff. I think this is the best way to learn, is just to like do a hard commit to one color. Otherwise it'll be way too confusing. And it could still be pretty damn good. Like, in fact, it could be better than a lot of these gimmick things that try to do multiple. But then you get these really complicated cards. You have no maximum hand size, which is normally what, like 7 or 8. This thing can be really good too because it has trample. Add a mana of any color you can just do. You can do with either one, in fact. So there's no real difference. I mean, they're all good. So very, very druid-esque. Not only because it has to do with nature and stuff, but it has to do with gaining crystals and playing expensive, strong stuff. Basic land is an island. But see, I still don't get what that means. Basic land means, but it's a water land. Does it give you it doesn't show water on there. Basic land for, oh, it does. It's just, but this one doesn't even have a picture of the symbol on there. Wizard class, when this class becomes 2, draw 2 cards. This one shows the tree. I don't really know. I would assume it's water, but I don't really know what basic would be if not that. So something's negated with this. Bind the monster. You do another one of these. It's going to enter, and it's obviously tapped. You can't use it right away. All creatures are able to block prized unicorn do so. So they must block it. Which is actually pretty bad because it's only a 2/2, so it's just going to get destroyed. That's kind of a weird card. Able to block, must do so. Dude, play another forest, no reason not to. May as well just play something a little bit beefier. So what you shouldn't play into, which I kind of am probably doing, is the ability of him to like do a board clear. You should never overcommit. But I guess this is all kind of weak stuff. So I won't summon the big 5 thing unless he clears my board. Right, so if he's just going to keep tanking the 1/1 and the 2/2, then so be it. I'm sure there's a good use for cards like this. I just don't know exactly. It just guarantees that you can able to block it. So like I get attacked now and can't be blocked. Okay. Naga Rogue. They did finally add Nagas as like a thing in, I mean there were Naga in Hearthstone before, but they weren't like identified as a class. Enchant permanent. When Rune enters the battlefield, draw a card. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has flying. As long as enchanted permanent has, oh my goodness. But now this should still work because it's able to block. Even if it doesn't want to block. Let me actually try it. It should be forced to. Because it's able to block, can't be blocked, and it's flying. Yeah. So this is actually a good use of it because he has no choice but to do it. And then mine's going to heal up, or it'll kill both. Or not. Must be some buff on there. I don't know what's going on. So I should have played the forest. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, I don't really understand why it died there. There is no backlog of the moves. Must have been something with the buff that he just did. Equipped creature has flying. Oh, he gets like attack first or something. Even though it doesn't say that. Rune of Flight again, nice. Oh yeah, I don't even know what the limit of how many of each card you can have. I think it might be 2. Or it might depend on what that card actually is. So I'm tempted to do this, but he's going to have some crazy response to it, I bet. Right, like there's no way that 7/7 is going to be alive. He's going to play a card that destroys it. He's going to do something to CC it. 100% guarantee. Right, like you never allow Dr. Boom or something. Yeah, there's always something to deal with that. Polymorph or Hex or something. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and base power and toughness of 1/1. So that's fine, I guess. That's a really good card, and it only can't cost 2. So wow, what a crazy card. He's only doing 1 at a time. Venture into the dungeon. I don't know what that means. You get to like choose something. Cave entrance, scry 1. Lost mind. Now they're role playing. He's doing RP during the middle of a card game. We're going into a dungeon. We're gonna go on an adventure. I like that. Like the flight path card and fucking it's dormant for a few turns, then it deals like 12 damage or whatever. Speaking of 4 mana 10/10, I'm sure he has another response to it. Because why wouldn't he? Right? Like you're not gonna let the 10/10 sit there, even after you already didn't let the one. Like how much of this shit are they gonna have? Whether it be removal or debuffs, it's not gonna stay. The 10/10's gone. Right? Because if it does stay, then that's gonna be obviously devastating. Or I guess he could just block it, but here we go again. This is what I mean, dude. Enchanted creature. When Charmed Sleep enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So basically it just becomes useless. There must be a way to remove these debuffs too, but then you'd rather just have something else that you can summon. And now he's going on his little dungeon crawling experience here. See, I just can't deal with that aspect with the kind of deck I have. They're gonna CC and just invalidate everything I do, so put a 1/1 counter, untap the creature. But even then, see, even if I untapped it, it would only be for this turn, because it's still not gonna untap next time. Oh, maybe I just shouldn't do anything with it then. Right, it's untapped and it can just block. So just let it, whatever, I'm gonna commit, and he's gonna AoE. So I should at least be able to block with it. Although, let's just try it. He's gonna block it, obviously. You probably shouldn't have done that because, yeah, what was the point then? That's so dumb. It's not like I have trample. You should just leave it there and let it tank. But then the act of tanking will still tap it, right? And then it doesn't have vigilance. I don't know what exactly that interaction is, but basically it can't do anything still. So many of these fucking debuff cards, man. This is the kind of stuff that just gets annoying, but it's like there should only be so much of that. Charm Sleep, Casmina's Transmute, and they're not very costly either. He was so confident of how much he had that he even put it on these garbage 1/1s. Every creature you control deals to creature that you don't control, so it's just dead no matter what. That's at least satisfying. Hit him in the face with these dinky little guys. So I don't know how good the deck he's using actually is, but it definitely has some defensive capabilities. The good thing is if I had some way to untap that 11/11, right, that could just win you the game because it's still on the board, so that's the only good thing. There must be a lot of cards that can do that. I don't know if this deck has them in it, but it is scary to leave an 11/11 just sitting there, even if it is debuffed. Right? But then again, what this does is it takes up all the creature slots too. So like I'm not going to be able to put other stuff there until mine die, and mine might never die because he could just choose not to block them. But so he's really going to let me. What, he's got like a quick play thing? That was always so annoying in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the game would like stop every interaction that you do because it's like, do you want to play your quick play? Are you sure? Because you can do it any time, so it has to give each player a chance to do it. He's gonna do some crazy AoE, but I'm surprised he's letting me. I can't think of a reason really not to play lands, like even if I'm not doing anything with them. What's the downside, you know? I'm gonna beat him with these little dinky 1/1s, really? Surprised he doesn't just summon something. I definitely overcommitted, but I don't know how to deal with these debuffs. That's my whole issue. There must be stuff that counters it. That actually helps me if... Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand. If you return 4 more non-token permanents you control... Okay. Vigilance and Reach. Now again, I'm going to put the test to him as a player, right? Can he deal with a 5-mana 10/10 again? Probably pretty fucking easily, and that's the part that is sometimes a little bit annoying, is that this happens in every game where like they just have an unlimited amount of removal. He's gonna bind it again with some kind of curse and it's gonna be useless. I really need to put in cards that either make them immune to that, or like hexproof I think it's called, or like that's why I love the cannot be... Are you fucking serious? At least I called it. It's just ridiculous. What you should probably do is play something else weaker first and bait it. But now I'm going to be able to use the... I bet he has enough for all this shit too. But the point with this is... I guess what I could do is hit through the face if he allows me to do that. 9 HP seems like, oh, I've made a little bit of progress, but... It's a very buff-heavy deck. Enchant creature has flying, and whenever the creature deals combat, venture into the dungeon. So he's hardcore role-playing with that. This also has the ability to hit stuff in the air. But again, if my logic is sound, you could just say, for example, he shouldn't be able to deal with the 7/7 after just dealing with the 10/10, after also dealing with the 7/7 and the 10/10 once before earlier in the game. But of course, look, that's so dumb, dude. So this is what it's gonna be like every game. Infinite, unlimited removal. Holy shit. It's not like he doesn't have cards left in his deck, right? That's what that means. There's still plenty of cards left, so how is it that you're getting exactly... There must be even more removal than that. Draw a card. Whenever... That's what this deck doesn't really have, is card draw. You kind of just have what you have, and if it doesn't stick around, then you're kind of screwed. Scry 1 top, 0 bottom. Some of these are revealed. I suppose that's why they're like that. Just like these two are for me. Deals equal damage to something you don't control. I guess I can just hit him in the face because he doesn't have a blocker. I mean, his health is getting down a little bit. I guess you could just summon everything, but he's going to have some crazy AoE, so I don't want to overcommit. Although I already kind of did commit my strongest stuff. I'm just going to make a deck that has, like, unlimited high value stuff. Like 7, 7, 10, 10, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, everything. And they'll still have enough removal for all of it. It's so amazing. But then at least if they have that much removal, they won't be able to do much damage themselves. So you would actually be able to block this because it's a flying reach. I mean, it'll shoot you with this little web. Is probably the implication of why that's the case. When this class becomes level 2, a lot of card draw benefits from these things. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1. Ooh, that could be very scary. So these are giving water, which, I mean, just makes common sense, but it just confuses me that it doesn't say it anywhere or show it anywhere. Right? Like, we get that the theme of it is water, but it's rare that it would just let you have to infer that. So the 2/3 isn't that concerning. You can't block. Oh yeah, because if it's... Well, then what's the point of it being flying? It may as well... It could just have that effect then normally anyway. That's kind of redundant. It's flying, but it also can't be blocked. Okay. Which is usually what flying means. So basically, he can't really overcommit because he's going to have to block himself. Another debuff thing. So many interactions with this thing. Holy shit. And then he's going to be able to do the 1/1 counter thing. Okay, this is 4/4. I'm sure he has a way to deal with that too. This seems meaningless, right? Just a 1/1 just to sort of... Those are good just to be able to block stuff, which is why this would be so good. Right, that's just to prevent anything from getting through. I guess I don't mind just going all in with these, and he'll probably block one of them. See, I have all this extra land now that I don't even know what to do with, so it would be justified to have some other high-cost stuff. That would be all I want, is just more and more of these type of things, so you can just keep putting pressure, and he keeps having to deal with it. And every time he deals with it, he's not developing something himself, so it is a good trade-off. 2/3 can't be blocked. Although I could just do this, so maybe I should. He's summoned very little, so his deck is very like buff heavy and very sort of buff and debuff heavy for his stuff and for my stuff. Is he gonna be like, if he gets to the end of that, he just wins automatically? Whenever deals damage, you may draw a card. So let's see, how far has he gotten compared to me? 24 versus 39, and we started with pretty much the same amount. Stop on my second main, stop on my end step, stop on my upkeep. He just returned it to the hand, which means he must not have an easy way to deal with that. So this you can do even if they're immobile like this. So if only this allowed me to hit the face. Or actually, wouldn't that still count? I don't know if that's true. Like, the fact that it has trample, well, but it doesn't say that it counts as an attack. It just says it deals damage equal to its power. So I'm assuming it wouldn't work like that, but that would be a very cool interaction if it did. Because that would almost just end him right there. It gets +1/+1 for each land you control. But of course that effect is not. Beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. No reason not to really do that. Let me actually try this. Let's see if it'll cut through because he has trample. It doesn't. So it doesn't count in the same way. So you could block it. I kind of don't even dislike the position here. It's just a question of nothing is ever going to stick there. That 4/4 is gone again, I guarantee it. Two. Whenever it deals combat damage, venture into... Oh, not again. All of his stuff has that. Enter the first room. If already in one, advance to the next. But that's very vague as to what that actually means or what it does. Miscloaked. It was basically like a quest idea. I wonder how much of that is RNG or if it's fixed, like what happens with each step. You would think it must be a little bit random, otherwise it wouldn't say it in such generic terms. Yeah, see that 4/4 is gone, like I said. So that's going to activate, so he's going to try to counter it or something. He's giving me something else big, which also is going to be completely useless. That's fine. This is possibly good. So wait, am I going to reach like the limit of what I can do? That's where some of these become a liability because it's just taking up space. He does it even, but you're underestimating how much mana I have, or I could just keep doing it again and again. That's the good part. I'm just going to go all in, and if this isn't enough, then so be it. But that's got to be enough. He can do 2. He probably has some crazy buff just to end me. I got him pretty low. But again, just all that removal. You would just need something to either make them immune to it or to sort of untap them or unbind them once it happens. This line represents what this felt like. Just blue chain, blue chain, blue chain. Again. That one's especially scary too because it has trample. At least you could block against this. Just all negate every... Just look at it, dude. And you could say his deck is especially heavy on stuff like that, but also it does seem like this will become common. This is basically a flying one anyway, which is what I was about to do against Cookie anyway. This is pretty good. It could have been maybe useful earlier. Have it fight something you don't control. Oh, does then it let you destroy something to replace it? Or, oh, there's more room than I would have thought that there is. It's kind of automatic. That's kind of a lifesaver in a way. So what happens if I even try to do this? Oh, it just keeps going. What is this? It's a budget deck too. Mine's even more than budget. It's like literally just basic, right? This is what you start with. So, I mean, looks like an imposing board. I didn't know you could just keep summoning infinite amounts of stuff. But he's going to have some crazy board clear. Actually, he hasn't shown that he has much of that the whole time. I keep assuming that he does, but... Right, like you're worried about the flame strike and stuff. So sometimes that overcommit is actually pretty good. Just the fact that you have so much stuff out there. I really thought the limit was like 5 or 6 that you could have on the field at one time. Okay, now let's get destroyed by that flying thing. Which that almost was like that anyway. Yeah, I love the whole theory behind that. That's always what I'm about, is just getting something big to stick, and then that should be enough. It shouldn't be about all this, or at least that's my philosophy going into it. Like, you just get some big 10-10 like that to stick, and that should be enough. But you can't get it to stick is the problem. Almost done? Oh, shit. I guess I could do a random one here. Let's see. Color challenge. Which one did I do last time? I guess ranked is better because then you get to... It'll match you against worse people. I forget what is what now. This is... uses recent sets. Oh no, this is kind of what I wanted to do. Everything throughout the history, so you get to see more unique stuff. Cards from Standard dating back to 2012. Which doesn't even make sense to me because this didn't even exist past 3 years ago, so it must mean... oh, it overlaps with something else. Additional balance stuff. Only from recent sets, so I guess we can do it in this. I don't know why it kept bringing me to alchemy then. This is really what I wanted to do. So you can think of this as like wild. If your fuse timer runs down, you'll automatically use one of your 30-second hourglass things. Oh, you're done? Oh, okay, after this one. Arena can have 256 tokens. So this is all good low-cost stuff. I won't worry about the mulligan thing too much because it seems awfully confusing and even counterproductive. I don't even get what the point is. If you give one back, but you don't get anything back. So why even bother? So I've never really had an issue with lands in this one. Like, I always have enough. So he's doing planes, which I think gives you the sun thing. Like, I don't even know what some of these do, but this you can pay quite a bit though to give it a +1. Almost doesn't seem worth it. That's just a buff one. This gives you more of a color, so that's fine. You could do this. I wouldn't mind if he just blocked it. Right, like that buff thing is gonna come into play maybe later, but sun, okay. Could be grass too, because oh, I guess the color of it kind of tells you. It would be green then, so it's like white or whatever is the sun. You'd think they'd put the symbol. Oh, it's on the bottom. Okay, I see it. The water one didn't have that though. It didn't even have any text on it. It was just the water. Okay, so this is good with trample. This is good if you force them to... you could force them to trade, but it's going to be too late. Or you could give a +1/+1, and this is like a quick play thing, so you can do it in the middle of combat. You wouldn't really want to waste that because it's just not going to come back. Or I guess you could and then do this, but let me wait a little bit. You can use this to gain more of that, which is fine with me. Activate that, but I don't have enough, do I? 1, 2, 3, and 1. I guess I can do that for now. Let's see. Or I don't have enough, do I? 1, 2, 3, and 1. Oh no, I do. Okay. I do because I have the extra one that I got from this, but ordinarily I wouldn't have. Fancy basic land. Are there like golden versions of stuff too? Like where you just... I think I've seen some of those. Like they just look different, but it's the same function. It's just if you have extra, whatever, resources to show off. Golden legendary. This is a 2/2, so this is also like a basic whatever. +1/+1 counter times 1. This would be so complicated, and this isn't even the original complicated version, right? This is still like a watered down, supposedly simplified version. You'd have to have all these little counters physically and do all this manually. It's just art. So he's burning his clock. This is angel of something flying. If you would gain something, you gain that much plus 1, which I find that kind of text weird. Why doesn't it just say whenever you gain plus 1? You gain that plus there must be some special nuanced meaning to it. I guess I will do it because that's kind of what I wanted anyway. To get the trample, you could probably do this. So that would guarantee the trade at the very least. Or I guess I could have waited on an instant thing. Just try to keep control over the board like that. So either he's going to block or not. Or maybe he's not able to because of that black thing. I always forgot. So you could make this pretty intimidating if you really wanted. Like, just every turn commit that instead of summoning something. Once you get past like the 3 or 4 threshold, it starts to become very dangerous because there's not much you can do about it. Whenever you gain life, put 1/1 counter on this. Not much I can do about that. Good trade. So none of those buffs would matter right now. HP is in a fine spot. It's just... Okay, this is very good. But, oh no, I jumped the gun on that. I didn't need to do it just yet. Oh, I have to do this first, or it's still not going to be enough. I did it kind of too early. Wait. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of doing too many random things. Shouldn't I still be able to summon this even? No, I meant to do that a little bit differently. Whatever. I was trying to just buff this. I shouldn't have done that because now I don't even get the effect yet. I guess I just always assume I have something like that. But this time I didn't. Whenever Inspiring Overseer enters, you gain 1... Okay, a lot of stuff is going to buff this now. It's going to be a problem. You shouldn't always just go face like I'm doing either. You should keep it to block, but... You could always buff this to make that trade happen. But not now because I keep going in too aggressively. So make him think like, oh, I'm going to buff this to be able to do it with my base ability, but then I'm going to do these out of the hand. So he's tapped, but I'm not going to go face now. Bring this, so that'll sort of work with the card draw thing. Now these carry over to his turn, so I'd be able to do that further. So let's just... Let me try this one, actually. Wait, it's still not going to be enough. Damn it, I keep... Oh, no, wait. Okay, so it's 3, so I'm not even going to go in. Let him come, and then I can even keep it alive. So block the 4/3. Right, he'll never see this coming. This is like the equivalent of a trap card or something, or just like a quick play spell. Like Shrink or something. Because then I think they're still forced to complete the attack, so... Or maybe they get the chance to back out, I forget. But here they definitely don't, right? Once they commit, it just happens. So the 4/3, the 2/2 is not too bad. This isn't too bad. Well... Death Touch, whenever creature you... The thing about Death Touch is, well, they can only block with it, so you don't have to play into that. It's always like a complementary piece. Whenever you control, deals damage... What? Wait, does that mean if he hits my face, he just wins? Is that actually what that means? That'd be an insane effect if it was true. So it's not letting me even block. Like, what's he doing? I don't know if it'd be worth it to give up the 4/2. Choose blockers. Or I don't even have to give up the 3/3. Wait. No, but I should because I don't... Wait, no, I don't have enough. I don't have enough to do the buff that I was talking about. That's fine. So 4/2 for 4/3 is fine. It would have been better if I could have traded... Whenever a creature you control... Because the Planeswalker normally refers to you as the thing, not as one of these. I thought. Okay, what else? Wait, what even happened? I completely missed that. I guess I could just do this regardless, and so I still have the ability to do one of these, or probably more, because this will give me one too. I'm just kind of biding my time, waiting for that ability to block. I don't really want to hit face. I have two of them even, but it's not going to be... Well, if he buffs it again, I guess it would be relevant. That's almost how I interpret it. If he hits face, it applies to you too. That doesn't really bother me. He's got a lot of stuff, but he's not actually doing anything with it. So all I want is to equalize this. Create a blood token. You gain 1 life. He's just got way too much shit going on right now. I like how it just keeps shrinking everything to make it fit. If you keep putting more and more. I didn't think that would happen. So there is no limit, I guess. If it was in real life, you'd have to just have an infinitely big table to put stuff on. Like, you could have 40 things in a row. That'd be so confusing. Maybe that's why they stack stuff when it has, like, the same name or whatever. So do the 5-4. Do it. Clearly, I wouldn't have a response to it. Maybe I'm telegraphing the fact that I do. I don't even understand that. Okay. What are we resolving? 6-5 is still fine. Block it with this. And then buff it, or you have to wait till the next... I'd have to do both, which I can. So I didn't really have another option there. That's still pretty scary. So it didn't work the way that I thought, but now you're going to have to keep these alive just to block, which is not going to be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's just mathematically not possible. Oh, man. I don't know how good this guy's deck actually was, but... Didn't seem like I could do much about that. But he just gets to hit you no matter what. You could block this. Wait, oh, it's flying or whatever. Whatever, dude. -7. I like how it lets you do that. So you could try to create the highest negative possible. He's giving me random stuff that I don't even look at because it doesn't matter right now. It is being pretty generous with it. Okay, let's see what this flying thing is about. You've got another 2 color. Keep completing quests, you'll get 10 in total. Those are still the basic ones. There's a little bootleg Navi thing. If you can't block flyers, you'll definitely lose against the... Yeah, I can't do anything. Or maybe I could try a different one that would be... I could do my flying against their flying. I should try a different one, yeah. 60 card. For some reason, it's always associated with water. Yeah, why don't I try that? So at least they should be able to counter each other in a manner of speaking. So the whole concept is you're just trying to go face the whole time, but you can't because they're trying to go face too, and so they get in each other's way. The 2 most offensive-minded things become very defensive-minded. Let's see, we do that. So this is a 0-4, scry 1. So you can use this just as a tank early on. Drag cards to put them on the top of the deck of your library. Top or bottom. I guess I'll keep it on the top then if that's what that means. So that's actually perfect for the early game. And then if you can buff it, let's see if we have unsummon, return target creature. That could be good if he does all the hex stuff to it. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Target player draws 7. Holy shit. That's like, what is that called? Sprint, right? So I'm good with doing this. This is actually a beautiful opening. Whenever you... Yeah, I don't mind that, but it's a little expensive. But I guess I can bide my time. I'm good with that. I have other stuff I can do in the meantime. You have to have something with over 4, which is unlikely at this stage. Almost like the... what's that thing called? There's like a 0-4 in Hearthstone. That's probably a copy of this exactly. Or maybe this is a copy of that. But I'm sure this concept has existed before. You can do this. I don't have enough to do any of that. This will just be a draw. He's kind of not really doing anything yet. Of course, these don't matter because they won't be able to block the flyers anyway, so I don't know why I'm thinking that's going to be so good. Surely not everything he has is going to be flying. Can't be blocked except by other creatures with flying. 2, 3. Everything gains +1/+1. Whoops. I mean, I guess you could do that, but it's like way too early. That's not impactful enough to matter. So I may as well just do it because I'm not going to be able to... Almost like you should just try to win the... Oh, shit. I forgot about that. Fine, I will do it just because I didn't plan that properly. Wait, but why didn't I still get to hit the face then? Hey, that was a bad play. I can acknowledge it. You pay 2. If you don't... Okay. When it enters, look at the top 4 okay, I can't read. Too long, didn't read. Do I really not have enough for any of these? Fuck. Look at the top 4 cards. You reveal an artifact. Darn it. This is where the lands just kind of cuck you. You can't do anything. I don't know if you're able to block there with that little black thing around it. It feels like sometimes they have, sometimes they can't. Yeah, I know. Everything took after magic, which is almost why I just ignored it. I'm like, it's that thing from way back that everything took inspiration from, so why even bother trying to play it? But enters, choose a creature type whenever you control. I wonder what it's going to be. Maybe it's a flying type. We should save this for something bigger that he's going to do. I don't know what I can do about that. Yeah, you can't block with that. That was just a mathematical error before by simply... Okay, that's important. Am I going to be able to do something now? I can do this. It always confuses me, like the number versus the... Whenever you cast a non-creature spell... Okay, that is actually really good. You may as well just try to outdamage him, which I'm sure is going to happen. So you won't be able to block any of his stuff with these, so I don't know what good they really do against each other. Like, if he has stuff like that too, what's the point? Because everything I have is going to be flying pretty much. Returns it to the hand, fine. As long as it doesn't debuff it somehow. So the stuff that just outright destroys it is pretty rare, but stuff that kind of makes it invalid, like it still sits there on the field, but it's just like disabled. When it enters, tap it. Doesn't untap. Okay, that's good for something a lot stronger though. Can't do that. I don't have any more lands. May as well just keep doing that. I wonder if he's going to have another answer for it. We're winning the damage race a little bit, but how's he going to deal with the 4-3? Of course, he has a million different of these lands. I guess I don't understand the concept of these fully sometimes. But the goal is you just gain a water and probably do some other crazy fancy stuff. How come he gets the water side and I get the land? 2-3. I don't really have anything great to block with. I mean, I guess I could do this. Flying counters flying. Or maybe not. So maybe it'd be worth it to do something to that. This is not an instant, so I'd have to wait. Choose blockers. You don't have to block it, but wait a second. Why couldn't I do that? Maybe I had to do it earlier. You can't do it like during the damage step. Three, 4. You can do this, and then if he blocks, I kind of have to. I mean, it's just not gonna happen. There's a 5, 4. This would tap it, and it doesn't untap. But that's actually bad, because you don't want that effect. Wait. Oh, whatever. Just let him block if he's gonna block. Wait, why can't these do anything then? They had attack, but they didn't work. That's weird. What, they're just not allowed to because they start with 0 even if they get buffed? Dude, this effect might still... It just doesn't untap, but I think the effect might still be there. 3, 3. I don't have anything more I can use to actually deal with it, but I do have this great card draw if I can actually get 4, 5. I don't think I have enough. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 3, 7 for 7. Pretty bad value, but it is flying, I guess. Plus 1 less. Now he's kind of going all in. Of course, these have been completely useless. They can't defend even though they're 0, 4, and they can't attack even when they have attack. Wow. A lot of good stuff. Still can't do any of those. We can draw something. Gonna have to use some of this stuff to block. There's no reason to really do that. I'm just gonna get destroyed. He's presenting 9, which is lethal, but thankfully we have the flying to block the flying. Ordinarily, there'd be nothing you could do here. That is kind of a hard thing to counter because most people aren't going to expect that they're going to have to do that all the time. So they'll have certain ways to deal with it, but it could get really annoying because you just can't do anything. I guess you could have reach mixed in instead of just having all flying yourself. This is so good, but I never got the chance to really do it. Yeah, you're just going to have to really slow pace it here. So what else is he even hitting with? Nothing? Okay. That should be good enough. You can just give it up. Too bad those things are completely useless. You could draw 7. Return... Oh, that's more important. Either 5, 5 or... I guess +1, +1. Until the end of the turn, but looks like they're still pretty buffed out the wazoo. You know, you can just do with this. Let's see, I'm assuming he can't block with both, right? That must be what that black thing means. Or maybe not. Or, I don't know, whatever. You got the 5, 5, which is going to be important to block with. He's obviously just going to re-summon that thing. What? How many was that? Equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. No maximum hand size. That doesn't seem broken at all. Just draw your whole deck. So he's going to hit me for 5. You could block it. He's going to have some instant that buffs it or not. Just a trade. 1 less to cast, but it costs 3 to do it, so it's not really worth it. I mean, I could try to match that with some of this, but it doesn't seem worth it right now because I'm gonna have to just block some stuff. I'll just use it to block. I can't even tell. How many does he have? 23 in his hand. What is that card? Yeah, no shit, no hand size limit. Otherwise, that wouldn't make any sense. Whenever something's exiled, 1/1 counter. Does that mean like removed from play, like aside from the graveyard? Exiled from the back, or that could just mean the graveyard too. One one 4 4 4 4 5 5. Now you could still block with this and it would survive, so it doesn't matter that you only have 3. So this could be good for that purpose. There's no reason I should go in with anything now. Just use it to block. Whispering. Deals damage to the player. It's probably not going to have him return it to its hand. Oh, that's like the whole spirit stuff. Oh, it applies even to their stuff. How convenient. So what is he even attacking with? Only one thing, 5/5. You should be able to do this with no downside. Like the little ambiance of the water sounds. Maybe it happens more because he has more stuff in the water. So you'd want to do this anytime you get the chance, but it's just like a hard commit. You have to give up one whole turn to do it. Whenever it enters, you get +1. That's kind of too slow. He's just got too much stuff. 4 5 4 4 2 2 3 4. This is only good really for blocking one, right? You can't block multiple with the same thing. You can block one thing with multiple, but there's nothing I'm going to get from this that I can use because I may as well just do these as blockers, but they're not actually going to be able to block. You obviously can't do that. I think I'm just done. There's way too much stuff. Like, there's no way. All these buffs. There's nothing you can do. I have no removal, no AoE, nothing. Like a twisting nether or anything. I haven't seen too much stuff like that in these basic decks. There must be something like it. It just does like 4 damage to everything or destroys target something. Look how many I'm gonna draw though. That's a pretty cool interaction. We get to see what you could decline it for some reason, but that is actually pretty sick. If something is instant here that saves me, that would be pretty badass. GG. Okay, let me see what this stupid other mode is about. Cube. So it doesn't matter that you don't get the actual cards. I just want to see what it's like. I mean, that's true in Hearthstone Arena too. Like, you don't get to keep what you draft, obviously. Because then you just get everything from it. Your timer fuse runs down, you'll use one of your 30-second extensions if available. What if it's not available? Then it just ends your turn. You cannot bluff. You can bluff not having a spell by quickly passing or clicking end turn. Oh, they can't see whether you have something? There are modes where you can keep, which is not really something I'm used to, but it must not give you very good stuff then. Because then it'd make it too easy to just get amazing things. So you get so many of these land things. I'm just gonna keep it and see where it takes me. So you definitely want the skull stuff to start. This seems amazing because if you don't, it enters tapped. But then it won't be tapped next turn, so it doesn't even matter. Swamp is for the skull thing. So I'll do this one, so at least I have the choice. Yeah, why would it be a bad thing for it to enter tapped? It's not like I need to use it right now. I wouldn't even be able to use... Oh, I guess I would have been able to do this. Conjure a card named Plummet. Conjure a card named Naturalize. Is that going to be destroy something and get to, make your opponent draws 2 cards? Fire a warning shot, draw a card. Yeah, so it's back to normal. You can choose, I guess, which one. Wait, but how am I able to do other stuff then? Oh, it would ask me then to use it that way. Well, there's no reason not to do these. Sorcery Adventure. Create a 4/1 tapped. Exile a creature you control. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this only as a sorcery. I don't know what that is, but... I don't have enough. Just draw. Just draw. How about that? That's fine. Also, like the choice concept from the druid thing. So... Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. It'd be cool if you use this as like the final shot on them. Right, it theoretically could be used as lethal. When the Stomper enters, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield tab, then shuffle. Can't attack or block unless you control 7 or more lands, but he almost already does somehow. This would be the same sort of thing. Now it just feels like it's kind of too slow paced. Like... I'm just not getting what I need here. 4/1 that's tapped. Hexproof, indestructible. Death Touch could be good as far as dealing with the 4/4. So either he can't block it and he just has to let it hit face, treat it like it's flying, or he has to give something up for it with at least 3 attack, which is maybe a little bit hard to come by. And if it has at least 3, then it's probably worth trading mine for. See, like the 1/2 is going to be useless. What does it do? I think I got this one too. Whenever it or another creature claims... Wait, what happened? Who cares? Draw 2 cards, non-land. With 3 or less, when you cast it, you lose 1 life. Should probably try to deal with what's in front of me here, though. I don't really get what this means, because shouldn't it be doing that anyway? Like... What does that mean? You shouldn't have to click on it. They just give it to you anyway. You get a 4/1. None of this is really good. Why didn't this work last time? I don't get it. Whatever. So this 4/4 is scary, but then we could block if this becomes untapped. It seems like you can just keep doing it over and over. So I could just keep summoning a tapped 4/1 every turn. Which is not bad. That's almost like a hero power type of thing. Would you pay 2 mana for a 4/1 every turn? Sure. Hideaway 5. I don't know what that means. Does he still not have 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 1 short of being able to use this 4/4. 5/5 now. Which is pretty fortunate for me. Choose a target creature, you lose 2 until end of the turn it gains. When it dies, return it. That'd be good for mine. So you could block with his thing. Permanents gain hexproof. Seek a creature card. Can't do anything with that. Maybe I do need to click these, otherwise somehow it just doesn't process, or... 4/1. Draw 2. So I could draw a ton, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it because I'm not going to be able to use all of it. Do one of those. Lose one. Under its owner's control, so that wouldn't even help me. So what does it do now? Exile something, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate it only as a sorcery. So that'd be good to like remove some sort of debuff, I guess. I guess I could do this on the 4-1. It just doesn't even really feel worth it. It feels like a waste. Right? You'd want to do it on something better. So he could just block and it wouldn't do me any good. So what you'd really want to do here is... I thought I could just keep doing this over and over. Summoning the 4-1. 1-1, okay. They're just getting too much stuff out there and I don't have anything. That's my problem. When you cast this, you lose 1. A lot of card draw, but don't really need too many lands at the beginning. +1/+1. Then if you control with 7 or greater, you play the exiled card without paying its cost. He still doesn't have enough lands, though, as far as I can tell, right? He needs 1 more to even be able to use it, so he's getting cucked by just the draws. Right? He's attacking with the 1/2. What does menace mean? Can't be blocked except by 2 or more. I wouldn't mind blocking the 2/3, sure. That's fine with me. Whatever, just keep going. Too many effects. Too complicated. Alright, just take it. And then you can do another one of these. Why not? So just keep getting all the skull stuff. There's nothing that even uses the forest, right? Oh, I guess there is, but... Click this, click this, click this. Just to fully understand how much I really have. Okay, I don't want that. This I kind of do want. Give me something that's actually beefy out there. What does this do? If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it, create a 2/2. Oh, wow. That's good. But now's not the time to really do it. I just need something big. When it enters, they gain -2. And whenever something dies, they lose 2 life. Wait. Oh, I forgot that it worked like that. If something reaches 0, it dies. I didn't know that would actually happen. It's too strong, though. I can't do anything about it. There's nothing I can do. And I have no cards that are suitable for that either. I can't block it. That's so stupid. What? It has vigilance too, so he can block and attack. He just wins off the back of that. You control gains +X/+X, which is not instant. Then it fights up to 1 you don't control, so you could use this to try to get rid of it. Gains +X/+X. So it would be how much you use to... So I could give it more than... You could use anything, right? You don't need to... I'm kind of confused by this. It doesn't matter. Like, it just has to be like... 2, right? 7, no, 3. Right? Pay 3, whatever, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as long as it stays there, that's a perfect... Actually, that was the perfect response to something that I didn't really know how to deal with otherwise. Until the end of the turn, when it dies... you could just do that. Permanence gain indestructible. Secret creature... This is a little bit risky, but we'll just draw some more, I guess. I don't need to really worry about that. Wait, you can still attack? Maybe that's risky to do, but... That's insane, so it didn't even consume the attack. Don't tell me this has death touch or something. Oh, that's kind of OP that we were able to do that. I keep doing stuff that I don't even realize I can do that ends up working. Wow, so we were able to destroy his keep mine alive, and then it'll heal too. And then still hit him in the face. But now, of course, I don't have a blocker. So I definitely have to worry about that. I'm down to 5. Gain +1/+1. None of this really has anything to do with it. Some of this actually damages me, which I can't afford now. Although I do like that theme. He's going to hit me for 2. As long as he can't summon something big. Like, if that's all he does, I'm good with that. Sacrifice another thing to put 2 +1/+1 counters. This is such a cool one. I love this. You could build a whole deck around just this. Like, whenever something dies, you get a +2/+2. That is a really good thing. Right, like skulking. Didn't one of those, I forget what it is, something like that in Hearthstone worked like that. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield number. What the fuck? You just can't get rid of this stupid thing though, can I? I just don't have enough stuff to block with now. Don't need the tree stuff. Enters tab, nobody cares about that. There's just too much stuff now. What am I supposed to do? Activate card from your graveyard. No, no. I don't want to do that. I think I'm just done though. This is cool and all, but it's not going to have impact now. Return target thing from your graveyard to the battlefield. This could be good to block with. And it would heal me. Flashback means you can keep doing it again. But I don't have enough to be able to do it. I don't really get what's happening, but he's going to have 6, 7, 8. I think I'm just done. 6. I mean, I obviously can't do that. You have to block with it. So we'll get the heal off and we can block the 4/4 with it. And then he'll still have 4 left, but then I can block with the 6. So it might not be quite over yet, but I'm sure he has some other crazy stuff. +1/+1. So yeah, I can neutralize the 4/4 though, right? Or can it not block because of that? I always forget what this black thing means. Because I feel like it can still block. You can go all in, but it might not be enough. I could even block with the... So that's just going to kill it. This is going to kill it, and it'll still be alive. So he'll only do 2. As far as I can tell. And I'll heal for 2. Down to 1 + 2. Oh, no. Is that going to do me in? Or wait. Wait. I don't... I think my own thing screwed me up a little bit, but... Whenever a creature in a... Oh, no. An opponent controls. If that applied to me, it would have been the end. 4/4. Okay, dude. Gets +3/+3. Gains death touch at the beginning. If a player lost 4 or more, +1/+1. Kind of needs something to address the immediate board right now. Return something to your graveyard to the battlefield. You could do the death touch guy again. Could definitely save me. This is fine too. This is fine too. You don't need to do anything with that. So we'll do kind of the same thing I did last time. You can do the 4/4 with the 2/3. So if I can keep cycling, it doesn't matter. Can't I just block? Wait, what? Why? Why? Oh, because it's flying. Okay. There's nothing I could have done that. How convenient. The one thing that would have actually worked. Other than that, I was in pretty good shape. Or did I have enough to just No, he would have probably been able to block or something. Try another one. So it does give that same arena vibe. So if you lose 3, you're out. Show only instant, type instant. Pretty good though, so you get to try a lot of different things. That one was actually very winnable. The flying just caught me by surprise. I guess I don't know if that effect got him within 6, so then I could have gone for it. Then he would have had to block, otherwise he would have lost, so he would have had to give up the 4-4. So that might have actually done it if I look back at that. This guy only costs 1, and then he has a good effect. This is good and all. I mean, I'll just keep it no matter what, but this is a very, very interesting and good card. I don't know what that is that we keep seeing happen. Oh, I should have done that. I'm already screwing up. There's no reason not to just do it. You can do this. You can gain one of those. You can do this. So lands definitely weren't the issue. You can pay 3 to get +3/+3 and Dutch Touch till the end of the turn. So it's not a bad thing. The beginning of the stat +1/+1, so you can do that even. I wonder if you can, when you can do that, like even as a battle is about to happen or something. Something you control gets +X/+X. No need to do that this early. 4-5. So either you can block or you can just take it to the face. So it might be a bit too much of commitment for that, but so why does he get a +2/+3 now? If a player lost 4 or more, oh, that's why. So it turns it into a semi-permanent thing. If he keeps allowing that to happen, that could be a problem. Even I didn't know that would be permanent as I'm doing it. I thought it was just a overcommit. But it is worth it then, because as long as you can hit face, even if you don't hit face, that means he's giving something up. Okay, that's like a hard removal. As an additional cost, you may exile any number of white cards from your hand. You may, but shouldn't you have to? It costs 2 to cast for each card exiled this way. Exile target creature or whatever of a certain value or less. You could use that to just draw. Spectacle, flying, trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. If you have 10 or less life, put a +1. Okay. Well, that's not necessarily going to happen, but it's still a 4-4. You get some of these cool animations. I don't know how they decide, like, which ones to put that for. But I've had a couple that did that already, like the first guy. Attacking creatures you control have double strike. Primal Might. You gain 3. When it dies, you summon a 4-4, which is pretty good. I don't know if gaining these specifically changes the way you interact with stuff. Like, can I do this now that I couldn't do before? You have 4. Oh, I should have. Oh, shit. I don't know what that means. I guess I'll just use this to block. I don't actually know what's happening. It said I could do it, so maybe I should have used this to gain grass, but I don't have enough. I only had 1. Right, so it shouldn't have been enough no matter what. Well, that's just horrible. I think I'm just done for that. The tempo is going to be crazier here, too. Like, you won't have as much. Well, assuming you were using a good deck to begin with, which I wasn't, like in standard, basic stuff. Yeah, that just does it. There's nothing I can do about this. Dude. This guy's gonna go 12-0 if that's even the max that you can do. What is that? The -2 thing was pretty badass last time I did it, but... You draw 1. Well, that was kind of bullshit. The first one was at least very close to being winnable. Maybe it even was and I just missed it. But this one was just bullshit. He's gonna show off too. Okay. Do one more, go 0 and 3. Of course, I never ever went 0 and 3 in Hearthstone. No, I did, but sometimes you just get a really bad deck. This is also, I could blame inexperience, but that first one was so close that it didn't feel that bad. Believes in the power of friendship above all else. That's this game's version of Tea. This does seem very interesting though, I like it. This mode actually is what I should do a lot, because, well, I'm not going to have enough resources to do it, I bet, especially if I perform this poorly. If you average 7 wins, like, you could... Now, I don't like all this grass stuff, but again, you don't get anything back in return, so... Can I stop myself from going 0 and 3? Because it seems unlikely. So it gives water. Definitely have too much grass stuff. You could do this like right away, unless it starts tapped. So you could pay 2 to get this out, or right away, or you could probably just do this, right? Would that work? Yeah, you can just do it. So now, kind of a cool animation to go with that one. You can go with this one, or why does it say 1 less to cast if your opponent controls no basic lands? Destroy target creature. But wait. Well, that's just amazing in and of itself. Maybe I should try to do the grass thing, but I'm kind of committing to... Enters tapped is fine. So how much does this guy cost again? It costs 3. You probably shouldn't even bother doing that, but let's see what he's got. Can I go against somebody who just has something terrible? Or who at least starts with a bricked hand? I don't really get that because... Whatever, we can do this. Overgrown farmland. I'm not going to worry about the grass stuff as much. This thing seems good, but I can't figure out how to use it. Like I tried to last time and it just didn't happen. So this would be very good to block whatever big stuff he may or may not bring out. And then I should have enough to buff this coming up. Right, you only need 3 and I have... Oh, I have 2, but this one's garbage because you can't use it for that. Doesn't this look like it could be... Instead of the sun, it could be the death thing too, because it looks like the plague land's kind of dying forest theme. That's what the picture looks like. So he's just not doing anything, which is fine by me. I mean, this is gonna negate whatever strong stuff he does, unless it's a flying, conveniently. That's always good as like an ace finisher, right? It's like they have so much stuff on the board to block you, but you just do a flying, even though you're not using a flying deck necessarily. You could destroy target creature too. I kind of want to do... Why don't I have even 4? What is this? If you control 2 or more other lands, enters the battlefield tap, you can add this. So now I have enough to do this, but I don't want to do it. I want to do this. Don't these cost the same amount? Like, why doesn't that work? What? How can I play one but not the other? Oh, it costs 1 less because they don't control something. I guess I can just do that and just hit face because he's not presenting anything. And that over heals me, which is cool. I don't know what's going on with this. Cast with alternate cost still doesn't work. Okay. It gives you a lot of options that you can't do. Like it'll ask you to present the mana after the fact. Now this mode is amazing though, because this is exactly what I wanted as far as like getting to see cards that I don't have and I might never have just to experience them. Right? That's almost what Arena does, like in Hearthstone, is you resign yourself to the fact that, oh, you're never going to have every card, and especially if you're doing free to play. So you may as well just get to experience them that way, and it'll also help you understand them as far as when you have to go against them later. That is exactly what everyone did at the beginning. Nobody was doing constructed unless you actually paid real money or this or that, because you wouldn't have been able to, because you wouldn't have had anything. Or even like over the years, whenever a new thing comes out, you just do arena a ton at the beginning to not only learn the cards, because they kind of give a bias towards letting you draft newer cards. There'll be more of them relatively to older expansions and stuff. They finally summoned something. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You can do that. Flying Trample 4/4 at the beginning of your upkeep deals 1 damage to each player. Then, if you have 10 or less, put a +1/+1. So what I could do is just do this, and then you could choose to block. But this I kind of want to hold back. This one, I'm thinking about the buff, and I'm just not even worried about it. So if he's willing to give up a 3/1 for a 1/2, then so be it. If he wants to just take the damage to the face, then that's fine with me too. Right, like either of those scenarios is good. But I'm not going to like, oh, I'm going to hold this back just because I want the buff. That's too slow and not, you know, just trying to force his hand. That's probably not the greatest block for him, but fine by me. Like, really, you avoided 1 damage to the face, but you gave up a 3/1. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Doesn't seem like it. I like how similar the values are in this game to Hearthstone. Like, obviously it was based around Magic, but it's like the whole, you know, 1 mana for 1 cost kind of proposition. This is a 4 mana 4/4, even though you also have like a 10 mana 5 cost. Draw a card. He seems to be struggling to get anything going though. He has nothing. Deal 1 damage to each. If you're low on HP, it'll do something. This will be good to keep in my back pocket. I guess I could just go face, only because... Yeah, see, this is the kind of one I needed. Just like, I'm destroying the guy. There's nothing he can do. And I even have this. This is perfect to have, because when he finally does something big, he'll think, oh, that's my big chance to survive and to turn it around, and then I just destroy it. That's so good. Even, forget about the costing less. It's just like it costs 4 and you get to destroy something. That's just good. I don't see what... I don't know what it's saying. Backside. Oh, you can do it as either one, too? You can do it as a land? Well, that'd be kind of a waste. 2/2. Okay. I mean, I could use it on that. Its controller seeks a creature card. What is that? What does that mean? I don't know what just happened. I almost felt like he was somehow able to use my thing on... Okay, what is this? You draw a card and lose 1 life. Whenever a creature you control dies, loyalty counter. Create spider tokens. You get an emblem with whenever... Okay, he just resigns. I don't know that it was guaranteed to end like that, but... It's good with me. Mastery Orb. You're getting rewards even before you finish. 7. Wait, can you only go to 7? 6,000. So that would. So what would give you enough to do it again, assuming it's 4? You'd have to average 5 to be able to do it infinitely. Cards will be at least 2 rares and 1 common. Blah blah blah. 2 losses, 1 win. Okay, last one. That guy was almost too easy, but you are going to get matchups like that. Not everybody's a try-hard, experienced player. There's a lot of cool archetypes in this, though. Definitely. I'm just more a fan of sticking to one element, but clearly the hybrid stuff has some merit. But just to keep it simpler at the beginning, like even all this tree stuff is kind of stupid. Right, like it's just getting in the way. You don't want to split your resources when you already have... I can't mulligan stuff, it's just not something I'm comfortable with. Yeah, speaking of split stuff, it's just going to be a pain in the ass. Now there's just nothing I can do for a very long time. Look at this, dude. What a start. Crazy stuff happening. No idea what it is. This will only cost 2. But... What is this? Haste if dealt damage, something, something. It's a 2/2, but that doesn't matter, right? Or maybe it can still block if they really wanted it to. Costs 1 less. This will also serve as a thing. Whenever you cast an instant thing, put a number of ember counters equal to the number of mana spent to cast a spell. If it has 7 or more, remove them and transform it to a 4/4. That's not really that big of a deal. I mean, I could always use this destruction thing. Destroy it with 2 or less. Oh, actually, this is perfect for it, because I don't even have to go out of my way to do it. Investigate. Sacrifice this and draw a card. You have to pay 2 to do it. If creature is dealt by something exiled instead. Wilt. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. I keep reading like enhancement. This looks okay, but again, where am I going to get all this tree shit? This is so dumb. The tree thing is going to cuck me all the way. This is going to cost 5. I just don't have enough lands and stuff now. That hasn't been an issue. In fact, I even said that the last few. I didn't have to worry about lands at all because I was getting the death ones. Which of these many artifacts would I destroy if I had the tree stuff to do it? Of course, he doesn't know how bricked my hand is, so I could just be holding back some super special awesome combo. So you get another one there. Apparently, you'd be able to do that. Artifact. So, since maybe I can do one of these. When it enters or at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. If land card is milled, create a treasure token. If creature card is milled this way, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. So no matter what it is, it's good. What happens? You either mill or... If a non-creature, non-land card is milled this way, create a blood token. Which we've seen before in other things, but I forget what it does. Or at the beginning of the upkeep. So what would they even have to be able to react to it? Maybe something that just destroys it? You create a blood token. Oh, but mill means it like gets rid of it. You can't actually use it, which is fine. I mean, whatever. It helps you get through your deck faster, but then it's going to mill something that I don't want it to. So what does this do again? Discard a card, sacrifice to draw a card. So it costs 1, and you have to discard. That's not even that good. This you just have to sacrifice and pay 2. But it's good to have these things available, so whenever you have extra resource, you can just get a card for it. I do like this concept of like just stuff that you could have like 20 of these throughout the game and just use them whenever it's opportune. Using fire. So basically, skull and forest versus skull and fire is what we're seeing. Play with fire, hit the face. Not really too worried about it. 2/1, 2/2. I really just can't summon stuff to the field, though. This is my issue. Like, I don't really want to use that, but now I'm starting to get a little bit worried. Fuck. 13 isn't the end of the world, but it could be. Okay, what is this? Sacrifice up to 3 permanents if there were 3 or more card types. Each opponent gains 2, you draw 3. I can't afford to do that, but it's a 4/4. Transform it into an 8/8, but it costs 7 to do it. Which is not going to happen anytime soon, so why would I even bother? So never mind the effect, I'm just happy with having a 4/4. You'd at least be able to block something with it. Why does it feel like I don't have enough tree stuff to... I guess it only takes up 1. So you need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't tell if this ends up giving you 2 if you hit that effect, right? That almost makes it seem like it gives you 1 automatically and then it'll give you another one. But that seems like too good then. Why wouldn't you always just do that? This gives you one, and then you click on this and it gives you another. I think it just means you get to choose which one. What are these things on the side? I don't even know. Looks like a Zeppelin. Do two, choose the blocker. That's fine by me. It's gonna have some crazy buff for it, maybe. Doesn't have much in their hand, which is good. Oh, this is like the image you see on the title screen all the time when it's loading. Actually, considering the hand difference, unless they have some crazy card draw, I should be in good shape. You'll be able to keep blocking with this. It's going to keep healing. Let's see if I can't bring out something else. This is worth it just to do a 4/4 as well. Deal 3, so you could only do that after letting the block occur. So that was at least a strategic sack of his thing. Otherwise, it would have seemed like a waste. Discard, sacrifice, draw 2. Kind of desperate for cards now, you can tell. So this doesn't actually do anything in terms of can block stuff, but I don't get what it has. It only has 4. Can't be blocked, but I don't even see like an attack value or anything. Let's see if this is cool enough to justify. You draw a card and lose 1 life. Whenever creature you control dies, create 2/2/1 things with menace and reach. I mean, I guess I'll do it just because it's cool, but I don't know what the stat parameter means. -3 what though? What does that mean? -3. Oh, she starts with 4 of those already. Discard something. I guess you could do this one. Because you're going to need to summon this and you can keep this for some other purpose. Okay, so in that case it's good. So I'm only going to be able to do the 0 now. So that means you could do it every turn too. Draw a card and lose 1 life. And then you'd have to actually wait for stuff to die for that to be effective. Return something from the graveyard to the battlefield. Let's actually look what's in there. Anything that's going to synergize with what's happening right now? You can mill stuff. You can create some 1/1 tokens. Sacrifice permanents to draw. Can't actually use this, apparently. You could do this just for a 4/4. What does this do? Vigilance, don't really care. So you can just go all in with this, and if those 2/1s die, then so be it. Wait, oh, it has haste too. That's very good. So you can block the stupid with the 2/2. Not a big deal. We'll gain more stuff here. This is one of those bullshit things that looks like, you know, oh, look what an overpowered thing you have. Sacrifice this, discard a card. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Good thing it lets you cancel. It's not worth it to discard right now. Just trying to see all the interactions I can do. There's actually quite a bit going on in terms of now I can bring something back. Although you might want to save it for something. So this is going to cost 7, which I certainly don't have. And then this also costs 6, which I don't have. I should just barely have it though. Too long, didn't read. Each opponent discards a card, then who didn't discard a non-land card loses 3. Well, I don't have that anyway. It's like I want this, but I guess I don't have anything that good in there right now, but I like that one. Oh, even when it goes, you can do something with it. So of course I did that strategically. It's a 6 cost thing. Can't really transform that. Choose a target creature. It gains. When it dies, return it to the field. Let's see what I can do here. You could destroy this. That should be good enough. I mean, that's an amazing... See, some simple stuff like that can be just so good. Bring back this guy, I guess. You have to pay 3 stuff that I don't have. So it's just letting me do it for nothing. You can just go face again, and then we'll see what he can do. I mean, at most 2-2. Right, he could just hit my face if he chooses not to block, which he's being pretty disciplined about doing, but now you're down to 4. I guess I could do that and lose 1 life. Maybe I don't care. This is so good, though, the fact that you can just do that infinitely. That's like a life tap. This is almost like a hero power thing. You can just pay 2 every turn and draw a card. Right? +2 +0. Kind of not going to help you now. Yeah, this is amazing, actually. I feel bad for kind of squandering this run, but I guess it's not over yet. So the bigger idea for them is they're going to have to block. Do that. Oh. It's going to destroy everything. You're just done. That's the best. This actually has some pretty good stuff in it. Oh, this one is fun. It's too bad. See, you always feel bad when you squander a good draft. It's just cool, even if it's not that objectively good. So now it'll just destroy both of them, and then you can just go face. Even if you didn't do that, you're going to win, but... In fact, that'll just kill him from the effect, won't it? Oh my god. So many things going on. You didn't even have to do anything. That is great. So now that's 2 and 2. See, sometimes the way you do it is more satisfying than whether you win or not. Like, that was just awesome. Of course, it seemed kind of busted. Like, if it was me playing against that, I'd say, oh, this guy has some 12 and 0 shit. But in this case, it'll be 12 and 2. Which you can't even do 12. You can only do 7.